spiked strips. This is for the town of Merryville. I'll open this up to the board to discussion first.
Okay, I was the one that made the motion last month, and after further review and study of different police departments, different areas, different hazards, I am not comfortable with the spike strips due to the fact of the danger of the danger to the police officers, the danger to bystanders, as you do pit or pursuit and mobilization technique. There's been some instances where if you're chasing somebody that wants to get away that bad, then you have a vehicle that's going still at a high rate of speed and is even more out of control. With the pursuit technique, the officer does have the chance to just back off and let it go if it becomes a danger to citizens. But if he's standing out there on the side of the highway, yeah, that guy's got to be nuts. Guy or woman has to be halfway crazy to try to get away from the police anyway. So there's no telling what they're going to do. There's been numerous officers killed. There have been bystanders injured. In Baytown a few years ago, there was a teenager killed because they used a strip and the car went through it and then became basically out of control and ran into the back of two teenagers, killing one of them. So I was not comfortable after that, after studying and after reading the liability to the town and the danger of the police officers. And that's my feeling. I can't support the spike strips at this point because of that.
Okay, so I've done some research myself. Louisiana is number 9 with officer deaths. Traffic stops are number 1. With the proper training, they can use the stop sticks. Now, so let everybody know what the stop sticks are. I've looked it up myself. When they're deployed, there is a danger to the officer if he's not out of the way in time. But once the vehicle has moved over the stop sticks, the tires do not blow. They are deflated slowly. So the vehicle is still able to drive. There has been 5,000 deaths for high-speed pursuits alone, and 80% of those, the people were in their own vehicles and did not see the pursuit coming. So there was no stopping what was happening. So they developed the stop sticks to make sure that these high-speed pursuits are slowed down to a more controllable environment. And of course, you know, with anything else, there's going to be some kind of danger. You know, there's going to be some kind of liability. I'm going to tell you right now, the police department is a liability to every single town. That's just the nature of the beast. I read all of the information that was provided to me. And in reading it, of course, you know, I like both sides of the story. She stated, we encourage our accounts to evaluate the potential risks associated with utilizing any weapon or tool that is potential to contribute to bodily injury or property damage. Before introducing a new weapon or tool, the department should develop a written policy. They do have a policy on stop sticks. And conduct training with all officers allowed to use the device and consistent enforce the policy. So I'm sure that these gentlemen will be getting the training that they need. They've been trained on the tasers, they've been trained on the pepper spray, and before they utilize the device, I am almost certain they'll have a certificate saying, I've been trained on this thoroughly.
So it will be something other than a DVD.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be an officer up here certified on those and to pull on these spike strips. We're not gonna get out there and be
Okay,
stupid.
the only reason I asked is because at the last meeting, when it was brought up on training, we were told it was a DVD.
Everything we go through, even a DVD is better. But this stuff here, it's gonna be an individual showing us and training us how to use this kind of equipment. We're not gonna be stupid and get it out there and do it on our own. That's crazy.
Just ask.
That is a good question.
How many's ever been up close to one of these and seen the whole thing? It's scary, isn't it?
It's scary.
I was not involved in it, but from Mississippi going into Alabama, if y'all been on I-10, I'm sure you have, there's a big park before you go into Mobile on the right there. Well, we were on that highway one time, and the cops came along and they were putting everybody off the road, which that's 4-lane there, and we were off to the very side of the slope as far as we could get. And they were after somebody. And they came to the bridge, it was a bridge there, and this was on there. Of course, I didn't know it was on there, I didn't know what was going on. But they were coming real fast, and this guy run into this equipment, I guess. And that thing skidded, and here we were. It was one car, the next car, then I was the third one sitting there. It came through there, and it didn't get the first car. He lost control of his car. It got the next car in front of me. It hit it in the front bumper, spin it around, and scraped the side of mine, but thank God it didn't get us, you know.
Yeah.
But it's very, very scary to see something like that. I'm not saying it's not in use sometimes, maybe it is, you know, got to be used. But if you're ever involved or see it, it would change your whole opinion of things, because it is scary.
Yeah, and it's whatever the police department does, they're putting their lives on the line anyway.
Well, sure they are, but it's no need putting other people's on the line, because they're innocent
Exactly,
people.
so are we to allow these high-speed pursuits to come through Merryville and nobody do anything about it?
I don't control nothing.
Exactly, we can't ask them to, hey, before you come in Merryville, can
We
you
don't
stop
have
and
to yell
call us?
back up from Beauregard Sheriff's Department.
The Sheriff's
Benton
Department.
County,
They are the ones that cause us, David.
And a wreck that had around here.
Well, I just thought I'd tell that, because it is scary to be involved and that close to one another.
CJ was first.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. David, if you're coming between the Salt Shop and the River Bridge, there's nothing between there. And I know because I was a reserve when Robert first started. I got in a chase, could have totaled out a car because an oncoming car was going to pass the car. Them stop sticks would have worked in an area where there's no houses, no kids. Yes, some stop sticks are a good thing because I could have took my life, I could have took the oncoming car's life, and they could have took somebody's life. And I agree with Robert on the training. Yeah, they're going to be trained on them and everything. And with anything, this man, the badges that we used to carry, that safety pin on the back can be a weapon. You know, you got to be trained how to use everything.
I've got a question I need to get off my chest. Y'all had time to work on all this and get y'all a little information, which is good. But where's my copy of all this stuff at? I was not even informed of none of it.
I just got all this stuff here this evening. Where'd
Yeah.
that come from?
I just got that this evening too.
Yeah.
But y'all had 3 or 4 days to get this stuff. Last I heard,
I just seen that you did
I'm
that.
talking, please, sir. When y'all got this, y'all had time to gather all this information. Old Robert back here, he don't know a daggum thing what's going on. I got found out about it when the KPLC news people called me. I should have been the first one informed about y'all getting all this information, or I could have got mine too. How come that wasn't done?
You was at the last meeting?
Yes, I was at the last meeting, because it was passed.
That's my point.
It was passed for me to get the spike strips, and that's exactly what I done. From there on, I'll be out there in the middle of the highway. I don't know nothing. I should have been informed about all this. Had a man come to the office over there, asked us to hold off on it. I held off on it. I said, as soon as you get your information, could you please hand it over where I can invest on it? I didn't know nothing till the interview that day. And that was dead wrong. That was behind my back, without me knowing anything about it. And that's all I got to say about the spike strips. I'm getting sick of it. We can't get what we need to work with.
When do you can't get what you need to work with? When?
Just these spike strips is what I'm talking about, David.
No, but you said we can't get,
There's been several things, just like the vehicles. That's not even mandatory, don't worry about that, fix it when you can. That was told by me, by some of your people over here. The vehicles is not a priority, which was supposed to come from your mouth.
they working on them.
Yeah, now how long it's been over
Well,
there?
it's been down there a week.
Well, I think what I'm gonna start doing is getting my own dadgum mechanics to go work on our stuff, that way we can get back in a matter of time. And that's all I'm gonna say about this, I'm sick of it. Every time we try to go do something, nah, I ain't gonna do it. So you, like you said on television, every time you get on there, you the mayor, you the mayor.
Did
I'm the
I
chief.
say this was a cost factor?
Everything else then,
Did I say?
just like a shed I offered to get, $800 for a
I'm
shed.
talking now.
Go for
Did I say it was a cost factor?
it. No, you did not on that.
Okay,
But what's the use of a shed?
I'm still talking. This is safety first in my mind.
I'm thinking about
I'm
my people.
talking. Liability second.
Ain't no-
Liability second. Now, go ahead.
Now, what's the deal with the shed I asked to get? I ain't getting that shed. We got stuff over there in our way we can't do nothing with. We can't take over here. But you would not let me even get an $800 shed.
You're full of crap.
David, don't sit there and lie.
I ain't said, didn't say you couldn't get no shed.
I believe
No,
you.
no.
Well, I see how this is gonna go anyway, so y'all just go ahead and do what y'all want to, and I'm gonna do what I need to do.
It's gonna be a decision made here.
Oh, yeah, it's already made.
What you got a vote for?
Do what?
That's what you have a council for.
Exactly, but it's already been made. I found that out as soon as I heard about the paperwork, it delivered to y'all. So y'all go ahead and do what you wanna do.
Do y'all realize that if the i's are not dotted and the t's are not crossed?
Exactly.
I guess as far as the training and usage of these things, that the town could be under $500,000 lawsuit.
We got these guns we pack, that's a liability. We have to shoot somebody, y'all gonna take our weapons in, huh? Is that what y'all talking about doing? Everything that's dealing with the police department is gonna be a liability. Y'all's backhoe out there, that's gonna be a liability they pull out in front of somebody. You're gonna have liabilities on anything you do.
Do you run, jump off the mountain, just see if you can collect on liability?
Oh, now that's stupid on these questions, Zach. This is supposed to be a time for me.
I just asked you a question.
If you're gonna be that stupid, go for it.
Well, I just asked you a simple question.
Mr. Spiller?
Ms. Rowell, see if I understand you right, you prefer, what you said a while ago, us to use pursuit intervention techniques over spike strips.
I'm saying that in a pursuit, you have the choice if you think that he's gonna, first of all, of course, we're dealing with, what is the violation of who you're pursuing, correct?
If it's a simple traffic violation, I understand, yeah, if we can't catch them, we can't catch them, they got a murder.
Right.
But if it's somebody's, like the last one got in, all we knew is the Ritter PD was chasing somebody with warrants. They didn't say what the warrants were for, they were chasing somebody with warrants. So with sheriff's department in on it also, we were asked to help.
Right.
However, pursuit intervention technique, hitting a vehicle, it's supposed to be a controlled crash, where you come up and hit the vehicle and spin it out of control. It is a lot more dangerous than throwing out a set of spike strips.
And I don't argue with that. I don't argue with that. But what I'm saying is what, I'm coming from where, if you remember, I'm the one that made the motion.
I understand.
I went over and visited with the chief. I told him I was gonna look into it. And to satisfy myself, I looked into it. I probably should have gone and visited with the chief. But I started looking into it and seeing where people were killed because of them. I realized people have been killed because they didn't have them. Or we don't know what the outcome would have been because they didn't have them, okay? We don't know if they would have been killed eventually or injured or something like that eventually, you know. We don't know that. So what I read and what I looked at, and I don't take this lightly. I do not take this lightly, okay? I don't. And I don't make up my mind without my mind. Nobody else makes up my mind. I make my own up. But I wonder why the Dallas Police Force, an article where I saw where they've taken them up, read an article in to 2015, I believe, where New Orleans does no longer use them. Somebody doesn't use them for some reason.
In big city, big urban areas, yes, there is a big liability because there's always somebody around
Right.
somewhere.
In fact, some of them even have a policy that use them, that they're not to be used over 35 miles an hour.
Right, I mean, I have witnessed Houston Police Department throw spike strips out in front of a motorcycle. And
That's a no.
That's against our policy. It
That's
has to be more.
We have a policy in place.
That's against everybody's policy from what I read, that motorcycles is definitely a no-no.
I've witnessed HPD do it. The thing is with spike strips though, they are safer than hitting the vehicle. Because what you're doing is you're spinning the other car out of control. On top of that, you're damaging your vehicle also, which is gonna cost even more money to fix the vehicle you were in. But by spinning the other vehicle out of control, especially out here on 190 somewhere, if he goes off in a ditch, rolls, goes underwater, and drowns because we hit the vehicle.
Right.
I mean, the spike strips are a safer option.
But also, I know the low inflation are much safer than the old spike strips. In fact, I think Robert told me that the spike strips, the actual old-time spike strips, are not even legal anymore because of.
The old ones were like an actual nail that just ripped a hole in the tire. The new ones,
That's what Ms. Womack was talking about, you know.
the new ones are more like a hypodermic needle.
Yeah.
It's a controlled deflation.
But I also read when that young man or young woman is trying to get away, that even though their tires are going down, if they're still running. So I have to go with what my feeling is and what I read, and that's what I'll go with.
Okay.
You know.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry.
I would like just to elaborate on her DVD. Yes, we do watch a video on everything we are certified to use. We cannot use or carry or say anything without being somewhat classed on. There are movies we have to watch on correct ways of doing it, what was incorrect on how it was done, or an actual fatality. Say for instance our tasers, they tased a man, had a pacemaker, killed him, because they did not know he had a pacemaker. I'm not going to know they have a pacemaker. It's like we're saying, I mean, it's a liability no matter which way we go. But for the DVD aspect, yes, we have to watch training videos with the course of the over hours
But
stuff.
it's just like the pepper spray and taser. Everybody used to get tased and
We
pepper
still do.
sprayed, so you
I
know
just had a class in my house
Well,
2 weeks
that's why
ago.
I was asking, is somebody actually going to teach y'all how to do it, so you will think about it when you put it out? just
We will
like
do
you
a
think about it when
simulate
you use-
deploy, but we're not going to destroy any tires. Because we would have to use our own tires, and
You
I'm
think
sure
about it
y'all,
when you,
yeah.
before you use pepper spray or a stun gun, because you know exactly how it feels.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's why I asked.
When it comes to the liability of the town, the highlighted line is, bottom line, we can tell them if they have coverage for the use of spike strips. But whether they are liable or not will depend on what actually happens and why. In the meantime, they need to consult with their attorney to make sure they have the best procedures in place to protect them when, why, and how deterrent measures are used. And it basically boils down to how the situation is handled and how it plays out. I mean, we're all going to be liable at a traffic stop. You're one man out there pulling over a young lady, it's your word against hers. So, and you can also walk up and be shot just like that. I mean, there's always going to be that pursuit that comes through Merryville. We don't have the stop sticks. They decide that they're just going to plow into the dollar store and take everybody out while they're in it and just keep on going. It depends on the situation.
And myself, I'm not going over spike strips unless the sheriff's department or the Duluth Police Department or Newton County Police Department or Quincy Police Department radios us and asks us, could they help? I'm not going to get out there. Our policy and procedure says we can do it at 25 miles over. Better not be done at 25 miles over. It better be 100 or over.
Yeah. So it's
If
basically,
we are called to
they'll
assist,
have the equipment if they need the assistance.
exactly, that's what it is there for. They not just sit there and kill somebody's husband or mother or daddy or somebody, and they want this person caught. We got a chance to do it, we're gonna wave that and say, bye-bye, go on. He doesn't want high-speed chases, he can't have both, one of them's gonna have to go.
Well, we all don't want the high-speed chases.
I don't want, that's the reason I wanna stop it.
None of us want that, so we understand the difference of that.
I know my husband's almost gotten killed twice on high-speed chases. I want him to come home every night. That one on Sabine down there at the road, the guy come after him while he was shooting him, trying to shoot, and he almost ran over him. So I want my husband coming home. If it's something that's gonna save my husband's life or these officers' lives, I think we ought to do it. And that's to save people's lives before they get into Merryville, stop them before they get here and cause an issue with a bunch of youngsters in the road or something.
Yeah, because there's always somebody coming from the.
I don't see anybody else trying to run out there and stop these criminals and risk their life to stop these people.
15 times in the last 2 years. The last one was on 8315 where they deployed the stop sticks to stop a drunk driver as it was going down North Street in the wrong direction. And they couldn't get him to stop. So they don't use them that often, but it was 15 times in the last one.
It's just a tool that we need.
Yeah, it's just another, and they need equipment to do their job properly, just like any one of us when we go to work. You know, I work 8 to 5 working on a computer, let one of my programs go down and I'm like, I'm a sitting duck. I can't do anything until somebody comes in and gives me the proper equipment. So I myself am for the stop sticks. I think they should have the equipment as long as we have the policy lined out in place and everybody has the training and the certificates are there to show they've had the training.
They will notify me in case they need to use them, and I will be there just as quick as I get my socks and shoes on.
And it's not like they're gonna do it by themselves. They're gonna have other people.
Other
you
people
know.
around, and it's gonna be a call from someone.
It's gonna be a joint effort with all the parishes and stuff that's involved.
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of job turnover ratio in the police department. That's a thing, and not everybody is going to have the same level of training.
I've got a retired MP sitting down there for 20-something years. I've got a Jasper County Sheriff Deputy sitting over there, got 20-something years. I'm getting people that's already trained in this stuff. They're not stupid, they know how to do their jobs. And our reserves, like I said, we get classes done every month on 2 or 3 different things, just so they will have a general background knowledge of what's going on.
That's good, and none of us are up here to be against you. We are just looking out for everybody's interest, including the townspeople.
Well, the town people and these police department officers up here, that's what we're looking out for also. Because I'd hate to know, because that fellow we went into Texas and got, he done around 2 or 3 police vehicles, sideswiped 2 or 3 cars, and cars that kept on going because there were no spike strips deployed. But when he got into Texas, they put an end to it. And if we could have had that, instead of going up there sitting at the junction and waiting for him to come through, we could have set up right there on that bridge past Campbell's, the whole highway wide open. We could have ended it, but we didn't have stuff to stop it with. And he was running 18-wheelers loaded with logs, trailers loaded, running them clean off the road just so they could have an accident, which would stop the chase. Sheriff's Department was in on that chase. The Ritter was in on it till he ran him down there by the river bridge, and he had to back off. So we called the Sheriff's Department, had them notify Newton County, and they got in. When they took in, we fell back behind, because once another department gets in on it, you're in their jurisdiction, you back out, you fall back. That's all you do. From there, it goes to the county or parish, whichever one's in.
quoted. First of all, I'd like to get a vote on how you would like to handle this, or all those in favor of. I have a motion. I have a motion first.
I make a motion in favor of keeping the spike strips
In
that
favor.
were.
Okay, and I have a second. I have a second. Okay. We're at a deadlock then. I say we table this thing to our next meeting in March. And let me get some more legal advice on it. Do I have a motion for that?
I'll make a motion.
Yeah.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you. Y'all ready?